Week 3 weekly reflection. One of the readings from the Blackboard, the model of bilingual education, talk about the additive of the bilingualism and the subtractive of bilingualism. I found those two that I can relate and I can talk about more, because on the first one, when you add another language and it doesn't affect your learning, well, that happens to me when I learn English, because I was born in Central America, so I was mostly speaking Spanish, and from a young age I learned English because my mom is American, so I add that language to my profile. So but it didn't affect my learning at all, and I can speak both fluently and with any issue or problem whatsoever. And then I can see here, when I moved here, and I could see all the younger people that had come here, they have forgotten about Spanish because they are very fluent in English, because that was what they learned when they were young, when they were very young. So they commonly they change that, right? They just speak one and they have trouble speaking the second language. So on those 2 points from the models of bilingual education, I am very knowledgeable about. Also now in chapter 3, when they talked about the dialogue, well, we learn about the 4 phases of the dialogue. That for me was very interesting to read about. When they talk about the descriptive phase, which is one you can ask about the setting, the characters, and it also gives you a chance to engage in the conversation. Then you go to the personal interpreted phase, when you can engage more, like trying to find something that are related or that you find familiar, so the conversation can expand more. And you can create links and bonds between the 2 people or more that you are having the dialogue. In this case, in the classroom, when you're asking something to one of your students, you can engage when you say, "Oh, really? That happens to me too." So that way they don't feel so nervous when they talk about their personal life. One of the other phases is the critical phase, which is the phase with the intention to create a bigger bond. And then we also acknowledge other cultures, and if we know something about that culture, we can say, "Oh, we know this and this and that," and you point all the facts that you know about it. I'm so sorry about the dog. She wants me to carry her. One of the other phases are the creative phase and transformative phase. This phase is the one that gives the whole twist to the conversation, when you can engage more and when you can create that bigger bond and get to a conclusion, or you can go in too deep to shape maybe something that wasn't good about the conversation, to shape it into a good conversation that can give you a good moral, or can change the behavior, or it even can help him or her in future conversations to expand more, to have more topics to talk about. Also in that chapter, they talk about the issues of time, that I found very, very, very interesting, because a lot of time teachers report that they have lost the joy of teaching because they had to be so focused on the timing, and they think that, well, they know that they have lost the real teaching time, because we had to be emphasize and step by step on the classroom, a lot of timing in the discipline, a lot of timing talking about curriculum or things that we had to do that we don't actually teach, if you know what I mean. We are teaching when it's not always just about the book and what we read from the book, and we know, and we translate it to the students. Sometimes we learn more from experience or for just talking in the classroom, because everybody is talking and everybody's sharing. So in that way, everybody's learning and everybody's engaging. So now it comes to what I found also interesting from that chapter, that they give 4 suggestions for a great dialogue. Well, not for, but more. But one of the ones that I found more interesting was the one that await the participant interest. That talks a lot about a good teacher, when you can find ways to engage your class. This goes more along with the older ages, but you can engage with them by, I don't know, changing your lesson plan into something that they like to talk about, not just boring stuff, but also like more, so they can participate more. So it's things that they have in their knowledge, that they know about and they are excited to talk about. So if you modify your lesson plan to have a little time of conversation and for them to exchange with you, not just you talk as a teacher, that will create a better learning atmosphere and environment, and your students will feel like more passionate about it, more comfortable. Also, if English is not their first language, but they know about it, they will feel more comfortable about talking in front of everybody because they know what they're talking about, even though their English is not good or the grammar or the pronunciation is not correct. They will feel comfortable about talking because they know about that thing. So that's a way to engage in a good dialogue in your classroom, and it will create, like I say, a comfort and a less stress environment. Also acknowledge the cultures, different cultures that you have in your classrooms, and make room for them to freely express themselves. If you have an ESOL class and you have time for them to express freely without correcting them so much, that will build in them a courage, that will build them strength to talk out loud. And that's what I could grasp about chapter 3 and the readings from the Blackboard. Have a great week.